Hi guys, so our virtual math workbook is looking a little different now. So instead of using the video that we've showed you the past 2 weeks on how to use your virtual math workbook that looks like the one that you would have in class if we were in our classrooms right now, it's changed. So we can't use that same video. So I'm going to give you a tour of the new math workbook that we have now because your job today is to make sure you have all of your math work done today. So that means the test that you took on Tuesday, the review that we did on Monday, Wednesday, the math workbook, which is what I'm about to show you on Shadrach's account. And then yesterday, you had a Google form to do about even and odd numbers in your classwork. So if you do not have all four of those done, that is your first job. If you do have all of those done, then you get on Math Splash, and that'll be later on in your assignment that you see. So let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to your classroom. And I know a lot of you all know how to do this. You go to your classroom. So you might be Miss Acton's kiddo, you might be Miss Ramos's kiddo, you might be Miss Jess kiddo. Whoever you are, you're going to click on your regular classroom teacher. Then you're going to click on class work up there at the top because that is where your classwork is. Now, Shadrach, who does paper copy, so he does not do any work on computers. All of his stuff is pretty much blue. I showed my friends how to get to the topic 1 assessment on Tuesday or the topic 1 test that we took on Tuesday, so that's why that one's gray. For the most part, his week, he hasn't done anything, again, because he does paper packets. So what his job is to do for math today would be to go back and finish any of the blue that he still sees. So he did not do Monday's math work, so he would have to go back and do Monday's math work. He did Tuesday, so he's good, but he did not do Monday's or Wednesday's math work, so he needs to go and do that, and that's where the workbook is. So that's what we're going to do. And he didn't do yesterday's math homework, Thursday, so he needs to do that too. Then once he's done, he can go on Math Splash and enjoy that. So right now, because this video is to teach you all how to go back to find the classwork that you have not done, I'm going to show you how to do the math workbook too. So now we're going to click on this. And the first thing it does is it shows a video. Watch the video because that's the learning of the day. Ms. Acton's going to teach you the strategy and how to find even and odd numbers. Then she's going to show you how to use Envision's math workbook too. So if you have not watched this, please do that first. Then once you're done, you go to the math workbook, which is the green button. Then your whole big screen, and it says you will be redirected in 7, 6, 5 seconds, or you can say take me there now. I don't want to waste any time because I want to get this work started, so I'm going to take me there now. And if you have not gotten on to this Savas Realize, which is your math workbook, then it'll ask you to, if you speak English or Spanish, it'll ask you to sign up for one of those languages. Then it'll say something about your avatar, what do you want as your background, and then asking you if you want to allow your teacher to be able to see your submissions, if you want notifications to be sent to you, all kinds of questions. You're going to allow all those, and then it'll take you to this page. So right now, the assigned work that he has is the lesson 2 or topic 2 lesson 1 lesson that he has. And Miss Acton assigned that on the 22nd to him, and it's due by this Sunday. So I'm going to click on this. Do you see how it changes colors? It's telling you that you need to do it. Also, it says he has not started it yet, so he doesn't have a score yet. So once he starts it, that'll change, and he'll have a score that comes up there. So then it's going to take us to the math workbook. This looks different, guys. Before, it took you right to the pages that looked just like the math workbooks. There were no other options but to just sit there and use the virtual tools. Now it looks a little different. So even and odd numbers were in the right place. It tells you what you're going to say I can do by the end of the day or by the end of this workbook. I can tell if a group of objects is even or odd. Looking great. And then it shows you that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that you need to get done. Oh, but Miss Acton, our last workbook, we only had 5 pages to do. Now we have more work to do? Calm down. No, you actually have less work. This visual learning page is actually just a video that teaches you how to figure out if a number is even or odd. So that's just a video. All you gotta do is just sit and enjoy that and absorb like a sponge all that it's teaching you. The solve and share is just one problem. The convince me, I think, is one problem. And the guided practice is only 2 problems on that page. And then the independent practice and problem solving looks a lot like the regular math notebooks or math workbooks that you would see in the classroom that we used to have at the beginning of this NTI. So calm down if you see this looks like a lot of work. I promise it's not overwhelming. So let's take a look at those first. So when I push next, it's going to take me to the very first page, solve and share. Solve and share, just a way to kind of tell you what it is it's a way to get your brain awake and working. So this has to do with the standard. And in a way, Miss Acton doesn't really like this page because I'm like, I haven't taught them how to do this yet. Why are you making them try to figure out if a number is even or odd, or can be broken into two equal groups of cubes whenever you haven't shown them how to do that yet? But after a few years of doing this over and over and over, because Miss Acton's been teaching fifth or second grade for 5 years now, I realized that it's because it wants to see you get excited when you get it right. So you haven't been taught anything, but if you can answer this correctly, then you're already ahead of the game and you should be proud of yourself. If you don't get it quite right, then you just know, hey, I made a mistake. Let's find out where that mistake was. So we have the same virtual tools that we had before with our regular notebook that we used to have. But the cool thing about this now is there's speakers on some of these pages. And when you click on it,
draw cubes to make the numbers shown. Shade all the numbers that can be shown as two equal groups of cubes. What do you notice about the numbers you shaded?
oh, that's the second time, guys. Oh, my little girl, she's asleep right now. Well, she's supposed to be asleep. So this says draw or told you what to do. So if you need, oh, mom, come read this for me. She doesn't have to because you can click the speaker and she can read all of this to you. Then you use your virtual tools over here. You've got your drawing tool, or you can pick any color that you want, and you can make the size of the pen bigger or smaller. You've got the stamps that have your tens frame things. You've got your blocks. You've got your base 10 blocks, which you probably wouldn't use on this one. And you got your money, which you definitely would not use on this. You got your eraser tool where you can erase things. So again, the same tools that you had before. The undo button, I really wanted that squiggle back in there. The redo button, I want to take it away. You can add text, you can add shapes, you can add your own pictures that you might take on your device, and you can throw it all away because you don't want any of it. But you would use this space right here to figure out what of these numbers can be broken into two equal groups. And I'm going to just show you how to do it, even though in the video I do already. So number one looks like this. Are there two equal groups right there? No, there's not. This number is 2. Are there two equal groups right there? There sure are. This group has 1 and this group has 1. They are equal or even. All right. Now we're showing the number 3. Are these two groups even? No, they are not. This one only has 1 and this one only has 2. So the pattern that we are starting to see is that 1 does not have two equal groups, but 2 does. 3 does not. Let's try 4, and I think you all probably already know what's going to happen. Are those two groups equal? They are. So that means 4 has two equal groups in it too. And as you keep adding blocks to this problem, you'll start to notice 5 doesn't have two equal groups, but 6 does. That even and odd numbers tend to go back and forth, back and forth. So every other one of these numbers has two groups. And even if we go all the way to 18, if I do these stamps again, so we got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, it's not the neatest, but these groups are the exact same. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They both have 9 in each group. Two equal groups, so 18 is an even number. Okay. That kind of gave you a hint. So what this is basically teaching you is that you can break numbers into perfect equal groups or not equal groups. And when they are even groups, equal groups, the number is even. All right, so this is the next page. I believe this one is the visual learning. So this is actually teaching you what it's about. So you would click the play button and it would play the learning for you.
How can you tell?
I'm not going to play that for you because you can do that on your own. And then the next page is the Convince Me page. Again, one problem. All this room to do your work, all of these virtual tools that you can choose from to help you do all this work. You've got a speaker box
Show me.
that can read this to you so you don't need to ask your families to read them to you. Easy peasy. So a lot more pages, but less work. This next one, I believe, only has 2 problems on it. Yep, it's got these 2 problems. And look at all this room it gave you to do work where you can grab your drawing tool. You can fill in these 2. Oh, 19. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got drawing tool plus 1, 2. Oh, I don't need to count how much that is because I know it's 1 less than this one. So what's 1 less than 10? 11, 10, 9. And I know my answer is going to be 19 because that's my number. I watched the video, so I know that if they're 2 unequal groups, there's an odd man out, like right there. That was really sloppy. I'm going to undo that. Like right there has an odd man out, then I know the number is odd. If the 2 groups are even with each other, the number is even, right? So again, super easy on that page. And then these are the 2 pages that start to look more like what your math workbook would look like actually in person. So again, a little less room to work, but by this time you've practiced enough to where you should be able to do all of this work that you need to. And then down here, it takes away the blocks. So it's making you have to do this thinking a little bit harder on your own. If you need to use the blocks, though, don't forget that you have stamps down here. So you could show that number 5 with stamps if you needed to with those blocks. Okay. So do what you need to do to get that answer right. And then I believe this is the last page, and it again looks like a math workbook and usually has more word problems. Yeah. The bad thing about this page, the last 2 pages, is that they do not have anybody reading anything to you, but they're kind of under the impression that you've got it going on. You know what's going on with the pages. You've practiced enough to where you can do this stuff on your own. So try it on your own and then go ask your families for help, okay? All right, so those are the workbook pages. Now, here's the important part, and I remind you this on your Google form, your classwork. If you do not push this turn in button, then it does not show that you've turned in your work to your teacher. And if you have not turned in your work to your teacher, then you do not get the rewards that she is giving out on Fridays, which is what I heard when most people's reward days are. Miss Acton's is on Friday. People sign up for their rewards. But if you don't push this turn in button, then you don't get those rewards. Okay. So you have to push that turn in button or else it looks like you did not do it. If you worked your bottom off to get all of this stuff done, and then you don't push that turn in button, it's all for nothing. Do not forget to push that turn in button, okay? So before, how we had the picture of the Envisions book and then it said it was not started, I'm going to turn it in and it's going to give me a warning. It says, warning, after clicking turn in, the teacher will not see any additional work you complete on this assignment. That's just a fancy way of saying Shadrach didn't do any of this stuff here. So if I turn it in and then come back later and finish this, the teacher will not see that. You have to make sure that what you have done when you push this turn in button up here is what you want your teacher to see, okay? Ensure you complete every activity tab in the assignment before you click turn in. Now, I'm not worried about Miss Acton seeing mine because I know Shadrach's paper copies. So now look, it says completed. And then Miss Acton, who can go underneath her classwork. So he just did the math for Wednesday. If I go in there and I have my friends that have turned it in, I've got a lot of friends that turned it in. Shadrach will be one of them. There he is right there. He turned it in. And all my other friends push that black turn in button. So make sure that you do that. So if you did not do that and your teachers are telling you that you did not do your math work for that week and you don't have this completed button right here, go back and do it again, okay? So the classwork that you're going to be seeing today, or the assignment form that you're going to be seeing today, looks like this. So up here, it's pretty much telling you, if you've done your math for the entire week, you can skip this video, you can skip all of these answers, and you can go straight down to the Math Splash video. And if you know how to get onto Math Splash, you don't even have to watch the Math Splash video. If you know your class code, you don't have to worry about this part of the form. And if you know how to get to Splash Math, which is a Splash Learn website, then you don't need to worry about coming down to this page, but you still need to push submit. Okay, so make sure you push that submit button. So again, this is the form that you're going to see today. Now this video is the old one. This is the new one that you're going to be watching. Follow all of these instructions and make sure that you can say yes to all of these. And then after that, you're free to go get on Math Splash. There's the class codes if you need help. If you need your password, your password for your username, text your teachers. Most of you guys probably have those by now. and then you push submit, and then you're done for math today. Okay. So if you have any questions, please contact your teachers, and please, please, please get into your math workbook, your virtual math workbook, and get that work done. You can't get smarter if you don't put the work into it. Okay. Miss Hackton loves you guys, and I hope that you have a safe and happy Friday, and obviously safe, happy, awesome weekend too.